Hello everyone, this is ACHAI Akaya, and we are in Advanced Challenge number 3. This one's called Infestation, as you can see in the top left portion of the screen there on this loading screen. But basically, in this mission, you are given a group of units, as you can see there, consisting of primarily roaches and infestors, and you basically have to kill as many Terran and Protoss units as possible in the given time. And in order to get the gold level achievement on this, you have to get 150 kills, which this one's actually pretty easy to do, or at least it was for me because I'm a Zerg player, so I'm more familiar with these units. But anyways, basically the main thing that you use your infestors for is neuroparasiting key units on the map, mostly siege tanks, High Templars, and Colossi. And as you can see here in a second, I'm basically going to just spread out my infestors to all the key locations where the tanks are. There's a couple tanks in the high ground, a couple tanks in the low ground, and getting those tanks is the most important one to start off with. Then after you've cleared out, so you've taken control of some of the tanks, and you've cleared out some of the ground units like Marines, Reapers, and Marauders, and all that kind of stuff, you start moving forward and taking control of the High Templars and such. As you can see, they're taking Neural Parasite of these two tanks in the high ground, and they will be able to see all these Marines and Reapers in the low ground, as you can see right there, and they'll immediately start firing all those. And the roaches, I basically use those as backup for the top right corner here, because this Colossi on the high ground can be a little bit tricky to get control of if you don't have anything to back your infestor up. So basically I send my roaches over there to help defend against the Marines while the infestor neural parasites the Colossus. And then basically once we've got enough space cleared out on the low ground, taking this other tank here for the neural parasite, and then getting this High Templar here as well. There's a group of Marines and one Ghost over here. I Psystorm the Marines, drop one feedback on the Ghost. That takes care of all of those units, and then another Psystorm here going down on all these Marines. There is one Marauder there too, but not going to be able to take that out with one Psystorm. You will need to use your tank or another Psystorm or something to take those out. And now that the bottom level is clear, taking that other tank as you saw there, and then these roaches, like I said, going to pop up, provide some support for this infestor, and then that infestor neural parasiting that Colossus, and then that Colossus will be able to take out all the Marines up in that corner of the map, and then yet another tank on the low ground here, going to go ahead and pop up and take control of that. Also, you got to be careful, watch out for those last couple of Marines that are out of range of both your tanks. That way you make sure you don't lose your infestor before you get that neural parasite off. And then once again, those tanks on the mid ground there are going to be able to do a lot of damage to all of those extra Marines and buildings sitting on the low ground. But anyways, after you've gotten these first few levels of tanks, if you move into the bottom here, there's going to be a couple of High Templars, and then there's a bunch of SCVs mining, and a couple more groups of Marines, as you can see here. Grab that High Templar on the far left there, cast a Psystorm on these two groups of Marines, and then I actually hold on to the High Templar, let it get a little bit more energy, and then you can cast one more Psystorm on the group of SCVs, and then since I'm done with that High Templar, I'm going to go ahead and kill it. That way I don't have to worry about it casting a Psystorm on me or something if I get careless with remembering where it is later. And then the Infestor, once again, coming into play, going to take over this tank, but before we take over the tank, going to go ahead and kill that Colossus there, so that I don't have to worry about that killing the infestor that I have there. And then once that Colossus is down, you can see going to be able to pop up here, neural parasite the tank, and that tank is going to be able to take on the rest of the Marines that are behind the mineral line and such here. And then here comes the High Templar. You can see him just at the bottom of the screen there, getting enough energy to do one more Psystorm and taking out a lot of SCVs there with just that one Psystorm. And then basically keeping the neural parasites on these tanks will just continue to shell and take out as many units and buildings as they can that are in their range. And you can unsiege them and move them around, but keep in mind that your infestor does not move with the siege tank. So if you move the siege tank out of the range of the neural parasite spell, then you will actually lose control of the unit. So just make sure you're careful about that as you're moving through this. And then once again, there's a few more units up in the top left here. As you can see here, a handful of Marines, one Marauder, so not a huge deal, but I do bring a tank over to take on some of that. There is one more tank behind that armory that you just saw on their left there, and then using that Colossus to continue to take down the Marines up at the top there. And already you can see we're at 170-ish kills, so already easily made it into the gold level, and there's still around a minute and a half left as far as time goes. So just going to basically run around. Basically all the units have been taken out at this point. So just running around, killing as many buildings and such as possible. And then once you're done with all the neural parasites, you can just start casting infested Terrans, and infested Terrans will do a decent amount of damage, taking down any remaining units that are there, or supply depots buildings and stuff like that. You know, and that'll really just boost your score a little bit. I think in this particular round where I recorded this video for you guys, I got around 200 total kills. So just to give you an idea, that's about what you can get to. I'm sure there's you know, people out there with pretty good micro that can actually take down every single building on the map in addition to killing all the units. I did not get that here, obviously, but anyways, yeah. There's a little bit more time left on this, but I mean, there's not anything real in particular that I'm going to try to point out to you guys. Obviously, you can just watch the screen and kind of see exactly what it is that I'm doing, and you know, get a feel for exactly what the strategies that I'm using here. But remember, the primary thing is using these infestors to cast that neural parasite on the correct units, because taking those siege tanks and high templars are really what's going to allow you to get those kills very, very quickly in the game. So anyways, yeah, time's about running out here. I will do my best to get the last 3 tutorial missions up as quick as possible. I realize that I've been taking a little bit of a break because I had the 2v2 tournament. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys. GG.